I wrote that song for the spirits and for the world and universe, for me and for them, for life, for the living and for love, and for joy and for tenderness and for caring. I wrote that song for the elderly, for the sick and for the dying. I wrote that song for all who have passed and for all who will be born. Cause this wretched life into a strife and needs pain, and to inspire young for the eternal good and for eternal life. I wrote that song to help our people and for them to get along, and for those who profit, and for the wealthy, and for the poor, and for the working class, and for those that work on the streets, and for those who live in the streets and in the park, and that live in abandoned buildings, and in the boxes and in the tents. Identify on those and anybody that needs help. I wrote that song to create knowledge and to create power. I wrote that song to educate, to live and to cry and to die. For those who died, I wrote that song for peace and pleasure and for enjoyment, and to live and to love and give and to share. I wrote that song to create and so others will share. Secretaries for the cleaning people in board, all the workers in store, all the factories and all the warehouses, pickers and forks and the stores and shops. I wrote that song for the will to sing and thrive and prosper, and for emergency services, for the country and for the military and the brave, for those who didn't make it back in. I wrote that song for the river and for the lakes and the ocean, and for trees and the plants, and for all creatures, and for all who exist, and the living and the dead. I wrote that song for those who sleep and those who awake, and for those who dream, and for awareness, and for you may find greatness, and so you may find love for everyone. I write that song to write and to hear and to listen. I wrote that song for compassion and to be right for those who are wrong, to see better, to feel better, for balance, for the inner spirit. I wrote that song for inner user. I wrote song for inner beauty and for inner one. I wrote that song to be free. Thank you for listening, for hearing, for loving, and for being growing.